Alright guys, so I want to do another update on my rabbit watering system. It's fully winterized now and everything seems to be working, so I've made a couple changes on this from the last video I've done, but what I've done here is, this is a hydrant that I've put back here near where all my cages are, and the hydrant feeds into a regulator which is hidden, and then through the regulator it goes into a meter where I can kind of monitor how much they're drinking. And out of that meter it tees, goes into a pump. So this is like a circulating pump for hot water, like a hot water system in a house, or a circulating system, or whatever you'd want to call it. And so from that pump, it pumps down this line, which I've already shown you guys all this, to the first cage. Or actually, before it hits the first cage, it goes to an inline water heater. It's for an aquarium. It's a 300 watt water heater, and from there it goes into the cage with the water nipples, and the water lines just zigzag back and forth. But the last video I had a really noisy pump that was back in the corner over there, and since then I've removed it and added this pump here. But after the water line has gone through all the cages, on the back side I have another heater about halfway through in the circuit, but the water returns back to this line. I've also put a check valve back there. It's kind of hidden, but it returns back to this line and just continues to circulate. So right now it's running, and what I've done is I've added a couple thermostats. These are the thermostats I use for my cages. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the outside temperature is 17 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well below freezing. And this other thermostat, I'm using it like a thermometer. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but the water temp inside the line is about 61.5 degrees. So far everything's working pretty well. Oh, by the way, just to show you, here's a water bowl, frozen solid. So just so you guys know, it really is cold out here. We'll go back to one of these cages back here that I'm in process of reworking it. So this is about the 5th cage in, and here's another one of those water heaters. I bought it through Amazon. They're about, I think, about 50 bucks. But it's set at like its lowest temperature, which is 62 or 61. But here's one of these water nipples. So as we speak, the water is circulating through this line, and the internal water temperature should be around 65 degrees here, but this is pretty sweet. So this saves me a lot of time. Like you just seen, that water bowl back there is frozen solid, and I have nice warm water coming out of these. So my biggest concern was that the valve would freeze right in this area, and that there wouldn't be enough heat transfer through this T to transfer to the into the water nipple to keep it from freezing. And so far it's working. I mean, look, you can see the steam coming off the water, which is pretty sweet. So, and this totally beats filling up water bowls. So like at this time, as you've seen that water bowl back there, you would be chipping out the ice blocks, and there'd be ice blocks everywhere out here. So here's a few rabbits. Guys, watch out. Nice warm water for them. Alright guys, well, have a good night.